It's the only one I think. I know that he felt that he came into his own finally toward the latter half of the season once he finally got his reps, which I think was ultimately the goal. I think that's why John Mozeliak was looking to trade Nolan Arenado in 2024 so that Nolan could get his reps in spring training and in the early half of the season before the summer break when they have their All-Star game, so that by the time they're at the end of the season, Nolan Gorman feels a little bit more confident at that third base. And maybe, who knows, maybe it's JC if they found out at that point in time that Nolan just can't handle it and they have to maybe focus on Nolan Gorman more as a DH as opposed to a third baseman, which is not going to serve in his favor. You better get it. I would highly recommend you get it together, Nolan Gorman, because you're way too young. And I know I know that your boy Libby is your boy. Y'all came up together and all that, but that third base, now that it's all on you, homeboy, now that it's all on you, oh yes, best believe they're gonna be watching. So I predict we may see Thomas and JC doing a little bit of third base. If not Thomas and JC, more than likely JJ Weatherholt. But we'll get into our future lineup in just a moment. I just wanted to be clear. Like, Nolan Arenado is not Eugenio Suarez, but Nolan Arenado is Manny Machado on the defensive side. Offensive side, maybe not as much. We'll have to see how that works out. I hope that he has a good year, but this is not the type of move that is ultimately going to make it so that when you do get back into your regular season, you start looking at Nolan saying, oh, he's the difference maker. Well, he's the stopper. There's a few plays that are not going to happen because Nolan is at third base because he is a great corner. But is he going to give you that walk-off home run that puts y'all into the NLDS? Is he going to get you that 4 or 5 run homer that's going to make it so that you got on an annual, on a weekly basis, so to speak, so that you guys actually are able to depend on his offensive paralysis? Nah, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now. Nah, Nolan's going to be a dope clubhouse guy. He's going to be a vet. We're talking about a guy who's been to the playoffs with the Cardinals, guy who came up under legends, like I said, like Pujols, like Yachty, even had the pleasure of dealing with a lot of our really, really experienced pitchers. And now, frankly, was the representation of the veterans staff in the Cardinals clubhouse. The final member of that vet staff, which consisted of Sonny Gray, Wilson Contreras, and now Nolan Arenado, is gone. Officially, as of now, with the exception of Ryan Stanek, who was recently acquired, and we'll talk about that in a second, now it is a 100% youth movement, and damn near everybody on the team is under the age of 30, which I believe is what Chaim Bloom ultimately wanted in the first place. So good on you, man. I mean, congrats, I guess, is in order for you and your new home that you got here, brother. I guess things are going to be looking up for you here soon. I do hope that you are able to serve to fare better in that environment. We're all familiar with the fact that Nolan Arenado is a South California guy. He did come from some little city in South Carolina. In South California. Did I say South Carolina? I meant California. I'm so sorry. That's why he had in 2024 on his list of places that he'd be willing to go, he did have the Dodgers on there. And my belief is truly that he really wanted to go to the Dodgers. Like, that was where he really wanted to go. I mean, who did? Everybody wanted to go to the Dodgers. I mean, Shohei, Freddie, come on now, Mookie, Yamamoto. So yeah, but ultimately what it feels like is that he wanted to end his career in comfort. If you watch some of the interviews, like I know he did some interviews, one with Yonder Alonso. I think he even spoke with Katie Woo on one occasion. Did he speak with Katie Woo? He might have. But he was pretty adamant about knowing that he wanted to make sure his family was comfortable. He had spoken about how in St. Louis he had found some comfort, and his wife and family found comfort, and they didn't just want it to be ripped away from it, which is one of the reasons I suspect he declined that offer to Houston last year when there was a potential for him to be traded and go down to join that Astros squad. Frankly, I think that he might be reconsidering that right now because they probably would have been able to get, but in all honesty, it really don't matter because Nolan Arenado, he won't get the same money anyway. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that changes now is, frankly, his potential to make the playoffs with the team. I think that they probably would have had more success with him, even though he would have been there along with Isaac Paredes in Houston. He probably would have been serving himself a little bit more because it would have put him in a position to be a little bit more apt to have some playoff time. The Diamondbacks they are a completely different team. If it wasn't for Ketel Marte and my man out there in the outfield, Um, I swear I always forget his name, man. He's hella fast. It starts with the M. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, man. But man, freaking, Corbin Carroll. All right. If it ain't for these folks, they got rid of Naylor. They traded Naylor. They traded Eugenio, which who knows, maybe they'll get him back. I mean, he's still a free agent. They still got Cattell, but he's been listed as one of the most highly sought after trade pieces in this offseason. And I don't know, man, even when you talk to Torey Lovullo, the manager, I mean, it was a shock to him that he had so many injuries in 2024. And then in 2025, they didn't even try again. Like, they just sold off all of their players toward the latter half because they weren't able to compete in that National League West. So good on you. I'm going to say that this is a good move. I'm curious. I am very curious. I'm curious if this is something that Chaim Bloom was able to do that John Mozeliak was unable to do. Something in my mind tells me that if Chaim was the POBO, the president of baseball operations in 2024, that he would have been able to convince Nolan Arenado, go ahead and waive that trade clause. He would have been able to make it a little bit more clear, make it less forceful. I remember John Mozeliak said in an interview, I think it was on MLB Network, that they were going to have to trade Nolan Arenado. And I don't even know if that was before they had spoken to Nolan Arenado about his trade. So that kind of puts it in that Rafi Devers territory where you're like, yo, how you going to talk about me behind my back about me and not let me know about me? Calls for a little bit of tumult in spring training, but they're professionals. John Mozeliak, Ali Marmol, Nolan Arenado, they all worked it out. And he ended up playing the entire year, even to the point where he got his curtain call at his last game because basically it was like, all right, man, Marmol was like, look, bro, I don't think you're coming back next year. So let's go ahead and let's send you off, homeboy. And that's why I think the players really like Nolan, like Ali Marmol, because he thinks about more than just what goes on the field. He thinks about the house, the feelings inside the player, even thinks about what it is that's going to help them and benefit them as a player post Cardinals roster.